Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. So in this week's vlog, we are decorating my office for Christmas. We are starting our Christmas series this week, and then next week we'll transition to more of Christmas each Sunday until December 1st. But I absolutely love how everything came together, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So let's go ahead and get into this week's vlog. This year, Santa came a little bit early, and I was able to finally get my hands on the Grand Duchess Twinkling Tree. This is a viral tree that's been out for a couple of years now, but I feel like with each variation of the tree, it just gets better and better.
It's kind of bittersweet. I love holidays, making memories to keep.
Now, I'll explain the size of this tree a little bit later in the vlog. However, it does come in 3 parts. So it does come with the base of the tree, the middle, and then the top of the tree, and it's labeled, so A, B, and C. One thing I do recommend is putting your tree collar down if you're going to use one before putting the stand and fluffing out the tree, because I did not do that. So I did have to go back and add the collar a little bit later, which makes things a little bit more tricky. However, one thing that I can say about having these Home Depot trees is this is not my first one. It is my first one with the Grand Duchess. However, I do have one that's my flock tree that I've used in years past that I absolutely love. But with their trees, you don't necessarily have to do a lot of fluffing, which I love. Like, you just put the bases together according to, you know, A, B, and C, and then you just spread out the branches, and then it's pretty much in the shape and form that the tree is meant to be in, and I absolutely love that.
So alone, I've been dreaming about us kissing when it snows.
Now, I know in previous years when this tree first came out that a lot of people had complaints regarding how bright the tree is when it twinkles. Now, when I first plugged up the tree and lived with it for a few days, I thought, man, this tree is bright. But I just realized, you know, and this is why you should read your instructions, that there is a dimmer on the tree. So it is on the remote. You can dim it. It does come in 3 different dim modes. And I love that. So it does have a dimmer, it does have a timer, and you can change it from different lights. So it doesn't necessarily have to be twinkling. It does have the traditional multicolor lights if that's your jam. Matt loves the multicolor lights, so I do turn it on sometimes with multicolor because he says that it reminds him of a nostalgic Christmas.
Only wish that I made was to spend this Christmas night with you. I don't need any gift if it is so I wish.
Alright guys, so here she is. This is the Home Depot 7.5 Grand Duchess in the slim version. And this particular tree has sold out on me 2 years in a row. This year I was like, it's not happening. So I went ahead and ordered my trees early. I got 2 of them for the price of a 9-foot because I went back and forth like, do I want a 9-foot tree? Do I want to go with a 7.5? I figured, you know, I have 9-foot ceilings and I normally get a 9-foot tree and I just kind of like bend the top branch. But I was like, you know what, in this corner, I just want the tree to be a beautiful accent. And of course my fireplace to be the focal point that my hubby built me, and I absolutely love it. But can you imagine, like, Christmas time, I'm gonna change this out today, the garland, to either the Norfolk or I'm gonna use the cedar garland. Not quite sure yet, but we'll put both of them on there and then we'll see which one I go with. But I even love having this together. Like, my theme, I had some Bordeaux ribbon that was coming and it's still on back order with Pottery Barn, and I ordered that in July. Like, it's insane how fast Christmas decor goes out of stock or back order even when you order early. So I can't imagine, like, I used to wait till after Thanksgiving and I couldn't find anything. So now we don't currently do that. Plus, being an influencer, you kind of shop prior to, so that way I can get these looks out to you guys to help inspire you for your holiday season. But anyways, it was kind of, the bows were kind of in this color palette, and that would have been really pretty on this tree, and I could have possibly kept this, but I'm gonna go ahead and change it out and maybe add in those color tones with the cedar. So we'll see how that goes. I think I have some wreath that I can change these out to. Not quite sure, but I do love the olive wreaths with the little ribbon at the bottom. And I'm still undecided if I'm going to change this or not. Not quite sure, but we'll see. But it needs some fluffing. Someone was sitting there, just can't remember who. But yeah, so as of right now, I'm going to change this all out. I'm doing my office because I figured that I can work on the office. It gives me time to reconfigure some things in here, get this narrowed in, so that way when I do the other areas of my home, I know exactly what I want. So for example, I've never had a home where, and this is Christmas stuff in here too, anyways, but I haven't had a home where I can actually decorate a staircase going up. Like I've always had ranches, so I've always had a finished basement that the stairs go down. This time I can decorate a beautiful staircase the opposite way. So I cannot wait. I figured I'll start from the front, work my way back of the house. I do have a tree that I want to put in the basement that was from our other home, which is a flock tree. And I figured up here will be mainly all green trees, except I'm going to, in my home, this is real people live here, but I plan on taking my olive tree downstairs and putting 2 pencil trees here, but they are going to be flocked. I just don't have green trees this year, and I'm not going to buy some new ones just for this year. Maybe next year I'll add on to the Grand Duchess if I really enjoy her. Here is going to be a beautiful focal point tree. I cannot wait to share because I collaborated with a particular brand this year, and I cannot wait to share that one, but it is green. So it'll go here, but it won't contrast in terms of, you'll have a beautiful like flocked one over here that you'll see, but you can't see the other one. And then the green focal point here with some nice elements. And then you have green cedar here. So I love it. We're working on a project in our room that you guys will see before this one airs, but that's how it looks currently now. And laundry, because again, real people live here. I know a lot of people asked in the previous, or last week, maybe. Well, by the time this comes out, it won't be last week. But in the previous vlog, what I used to keep everything on here in terms of the garland, and it was just command hooks. And I think these are only like 2-pound ones. But I did read the instructions this time. It says wait an hour, then use it to hang, and it really does work. So that's what I use. And I got these from Hobby Lobby. I love them. So pretty. So this is the garland I'm going back and forth with. If I want to use this Norfolk one, which I did get from Kirkland's a couple years ago, or if I want to use the new garland, which is this one that I purchased last year, or maybe it was the year prior, but I didn't use because, yeah, last year, because we were in our apartment and I just didn't have the motivation to decorate that. So I do love this one. It has like gold in it and silver. So I was talking here, but as I was rambling, I decided to go ahead and mute this because I was kind of all over the place in terms of what I wanted as my actual style. I had saw garland draped kind of like where the garland meets in the middle and then it cascades on each side of the fireplace. I thought about that as well. And then I also thought about, I just wanted to maybe it just cascading on one side. But then when I thought about it, and as I was trying to put the garland up on the fireplace, and as a lot of you know that have been here for a while, your girl is not the best in terms of doing smaller projects. Like I can design a room, but when it comes to details like garland, placemats, like different arrangements that are very detail oriented, like my mind just blinks out on me and I'm just not for that. So there are a lot of people that love like, you know, arts and crafts and hobbies and things like that. That's just not my thing. So this garland was giving me a run for my money in terms of how is it supposed to lay? What am I doing? Because I obviously didn't know what was going on, because what is that right there? But it soon came together. It just took some time, and I just wanted to keep you guys from having to listen to me ramble. Okay, so clearly that didn't look good. So I decided to go ahead and start over, and of course taking off the labels and the tabs. But again, I'm not quite sure why I was showing you guys my fingers. I don't know, maybe the tab was hurting me. I don't know. But once I put the command hooks on there, and now one thing I would have to say with this garland, it's not very bendable, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't allow you to mold it like how you would want to. It's kind of just, you know, how it hangs is where it's gonna lay. So I had to, you know, combat that. But like I said, it took me a lot of trial and error in terms of putting the garland on there. I actually think I watched a YouTube video of how to hang garland, because this was just not giving what I wanted it to give. Feel like going downstairs to put these away that were sitting in there, so I decided to put them inside of the garland, which matches my theme this year with like copper and brown color tones, rust, all of those things. So I put them in there and I love it. So I plan on putting the rest. I have 5 of them somewhere throughout the garland to kind of cover up the sparse areas. I'm thinking of keeping this just very simple, classy, and light. I didn't necessarily want to continue to put more garland on top of here because it's not a huge mantle. And I feel like when I was trying to add an additional layer of garland, it just became entirely too heavy. And I really want to keep the simplicity of the fireplace. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera up, start decorating. I still have not decorated the tree, so you didn't miss any of that. But I'm going to go ahead and work on this. Now, as I was sticking the cosmos in the garland, I was thinking like, wait a minute, like this looks entirely too thin. Like I said, I still was going for like an organic, light, airy feel, but I didn't like how I can see a lot more of the mantle right there. So you'll see me add an additional garland later on in the vlog, but I just wanted to address that I did go back and add some garland to it. I also added an additional command hook like underneath the mantle, so therefore when I added the additional garland piece, I was able to hook that particular garland onto that hook and then swing it over to have that cascading end. Let's step away and see how that's looking. Oh, it's so pretty. I like how organic it looks, if that makes sense. I do plan on putting a little bit of other items in here, but I do love how that's looking. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try and decorate the tree. I had already put some ornaments on it, and I thought the camera was recording, but it obviously was not, so I had to take them all off. But I have the items here on my desk, and I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm working with. I took a little trip to the basement and I found this container that was full of decor that I had last year that I used on our apartment tree. And I just picked out some items from this box that I actually love. So I bought these from, I think they were from, oops. Let's see if I have a tag on them still. So I got these from Kirkland's Home last year, and I put them on our apartment tree, and I figured that they would be great one day in our main tree in our home. So I love these. They were $7.99 a piece. I bought 4 of them. I usually like to have evens of a particular ornament that I love. And I also have another ornament here that I did not use, but I bought from Target, I think 2 years ago, but I've never used them. But they're like a vintage glass, or maybe they might have been last year's collection, but they're hearth and hand. You can open them. It's hard to do with one hand, but anyways, you can open it and put like a little keepsake inside, picture, whatever you want. I was thinking about putting like a tea light in here, and we can put them on the tree. And when they were on sale, they were $6.99 a piece. But again, I got this in last year's collection, and very interested to see what she comes out with this year. But I think this is so beautiful and timeless. All right, so here are some of the items that we're working with. Again, I have these bells that I love. I got them from Hobby Lobby, and I will go ahead and put the SKU number or item number on the screen so you guys will know what they are. But I got these there. I did buy these a year or so ago because I was gonna do this color, then I changed my mind. But they're just bows, you can see them here, that I can tie onto the tree. So I have my little personal fan blowing because I didn't want to turn on the air for the entire first level of the home, just to cool me off because I'm messing with this tree. So that's why she is blowing like crazy. So I got these and I thought they were really pretty, and I love the length of them as well. And they come with like a twist tie, you just twist them around. $5, and I got a couple of them. So I'll be able to use them on various trees in the house. And I also have these little nutcrackers. They're felt line, love. Again, bells. And these ones I got from Hobby Lobby as well. Then I already showed you guys the ornaments from, Hearth and Hand from last year. I love them. I always, like I said, I purchase normally in 4 when it comes to like unique little pieces that I love. So that's normally my thinking behind that. So I think I'm going to start with just this, but this is like the color scheme here. I plan on in the garland, which I love how it's coming out, to put, of course, some twinkle lights in it, but I do need to order them and finish that up. I still need to work on that poinsettia because it's driving me crazy. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down, but see how everything's matching, because there goes the tree collar. Again, I'll work on this and get in. It looks like I'm gonna have to order an extension cord from Amazon, a little flat facing, and then that way I can run it behind and hide it underneath the tree collar when I get that all situated. So let's go ahead and start. Oh, and then also I got these from Hobby Lobby as well, because they're felt, or not felt, but flocked ornaments, and I love them. Well, yeah, they're like a velvet material. I do have some bulbs or baubles that are like this, so I plan on putting those on the Christmas tree as well, filling in all of those things. But I'm gonna put the camera up. Enough of me chit-chatting. Matt, go ahead and play some music, and let me go ahead and decorate. when designing my Christmas trees, I like to take a step back and look and see if my ornaments are flowing together nicely, if they're complementing each other, and if my story and color tone are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing in terms of keeping everything cohesive and the tree just not looking as if I'm just grabbing ornaments that don't necessarily go with the theme for that year and placing them on the tree. So I just love how everything is just nice and balanced and complements each other just perfectly. So I found these on Wayfair, and I really like the idea of having candles on my tree. I plan on doing that with my main tree, but not with these. These are a little bit smaller, and so I just feel like they'll just be more appropriately scaled for this style, not style, but this size of tree. And these are what they look like. And they're really pretty. I like how they have like the melting wax effect, and they come like in a cluster of 3. And then there goes the clip, and it comes with a green wire so you can hide it on the tree. I totally forgot about these until recently. So I was like, dang, I should have put these on perhaps before I had the ornaments on here. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and put them on, and then I'll come back and give you an update. When placing the candles on the tree, I really wanted a cascading effect. So I took my time to start at the bottom and then worked my way up the tree, like I said, in a spiral to create that cascading effect. But I love how it came together. Size, but I think the size is perfect in terms of like they're not the focal point, they're just a beautiful accent, and I think that's really special about them. Just trying to hide the cords a little bit. I think that's so precious. Even if you didn't have the tree on and you just wanted to have it with the lights of the candles, that would be pretty too. So maybe I might go in with a few more. Let me know in the comments, do you think I need more candles on the tree, or it's just perfect the way it is? I love it. I'm sure I'll be tweaking it all Christmas long, but it's so pretty. I can't wait for night. All right, so I need coffee. My voice is like, I'm not even, but we're gonna get through this. I saw on Pinterest that there was a lot of folks doing, like, if they had a gallery moment in their office or room or something like that, or just pictures, frame pictures around the house, that they were putting bows, and I thought that was the cutest, sweetest thing. So I am putting one here, and it's just the same bow that's on the trees. It comes with this, like, what is this? I don't know, a little, whatever it's called, a little plastic piece that secures around the tree, and you just kind of like tie it on there. But I just went ahead and tucked it behind, and it actually helps as an anchor to keep it on there rather than like using tape or anything like that, which if you didn't have bows like that and you were making your own bows, then you definitely can use some tape. I think that would work just fine. So I plan on putting another one there. I think that would be just fine. And then I'm going to, as much as I love my fall tree this year, I'm gonna go ahead and put her somewhere else and probably just not have any tree here and then put like a cute throw pillow here, since I do have some extra throw pillows. And I'll do that. And then another thing as well, I think that's pretty much it, what I'm gonna do in this particular office. I think the tree, the garland speaks for itself, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean up everything, and then we can go ahead and get into the final reveal. And of course, you guys know me by now, that wasn't just it. So I decided to add some garland hanging over my doorway here, and I thought it would be really nice and festive, because little do you know that the garland on the staircase is actually already done. So I decided to go ahead and add some garland here just to tie in the two spaces. And I did get this particular garland from Kirkland's. I will link everything on my LTK page if you'd like to shop the look. But I did get this while it was on sale, and I believe I got the juniper garland. I think I got 4 of them for 50 bucks. Yes, 4 for $50, which I paid $50 per garland from Hobby Lobby. Although you can't compare them because this one is a bit thinner than the other one that I got from Hobby Lobby, but I did put 2 garlands above this doorway, and it worked out perfectly fine for this particular application. All right, guys, so let me know in the comments what you guys think of this year's theme in my office. I wanted it, again, to be a theme of Little Women. I love that movie. And in that movie, there is just an old-timey feel, vintage feel of Christmas. A tree with candles on it, a simple tree with just bows, simple ornaments. So that's really the look that I was going for in my office, and also goes with the more vintage feel in this space. So I thought that it was only fitting to keep things very, just not so Christmassy, if that makes sense. But just starting off here with the Christmas tree, again, it is the Duchess, the Grand Duchess viral Home Depot tree. I got the 7.5 foot in a slim fit, and I love it. I feel like it goes in this corner. It was perfectly made for this particular space. Now, once I do built-ins, we'll have to figure out where the tree will migrate to. It might change throughout the years, but for right now, I love it in this particular corner. And also you can view it from outside as well. When people drive by or just walking, they can have enjoyment of viewing the tree as well. So I definitely love it. For the garland, I've had this garland for quite some time. I got it from Hobby Lobby, and it's just been in my pile of sorts down in our basement, and I was able to utilize it this year. And so I love just having this, the glitter tips at the end, although I do hate glitter because glitter gets everywhere. But it definitely goes in here in terms of just, again, that classic vintage kind of feel and look. And then the cosmos here are just out of accident or pure laziness, should I say. I just didn't feel like taking them downstairs and finding a space for them. So I was like, oh, I wonder how they would look inside of the garland. So I just went ahead and meticulously placed each one in certain sections, and it came out really pretty. So I cannot stress enough how sometimes just having things lying around the house can really help with your Christmas decor, and I didn't have to spend anything additional on those. So I love it. Another thing as well, in my office space, I kept it very simple in terms of over here. I'll meet you guys over there. This is my gallery wall, and I kept it simple in terms of just adding nice, beautiful velvet bows there, keeping it nice and simple and adding beautiful velvet bows. And so I love it because it just gives that Christmas feel in terms of like wrapped presents. And it also makes it more festive in this particular area as well. Now the tree, I went back and forth, as you guys saw in the vlog, of taking it out or keeping it in the space. And once I took it out, I just felt like it was missing something here. So when I put it back in here, Matt was like, you know what, just keep it, because you'll see in next week's vlog that this color comes back in another area in my home. So I love it, and I think it fits here, and so we'll keep it here for the season. I also went ahead and just tied a little red velvet bow here on my lamp as well, just to tie in some of the burgundy colors in the tree. And I think it was, like I said, simple but impactful in this particular space. I didn't really want it to go overboard. I kept the wreaths that are here as well, because you'll see this particular arrangement or olive texture in another place, which is going to be straight across the hallway in my console. So I did find a swag that mimics this. So I was like, oh, well, you know, I'll just go ahead and keep it. But again, making things cohesive within other areas of my home, and then also keeping the things that I have now. So I didn't have to buy new wreaths for the outside of my office, because I do love how this looks on a day-to-day basis. So again, keeping with the Christmas spirit, of course, we have to have a Christmas candle. So this one is called Balsam Fir. It is from the My Texas House Walmart collection, and I love it. It smells really good, but it's not overpowering with that pine kind of smell that sometimes you can get a little bit of a headache with seasonal candles. So it's very nice, and I'll be able to burn that because I'm not really a big, huge seasonal candle kind of person. But I do love this garland that I just added, just to give it an additional texture in the office space, and also bringing in this element because it will tie in with my staircase that you guys will see in another vlog. So I wanted to go ahead and, again, keeping places cohesive and going from one room to another without it feeling, you know, drastically different, of having that element there. And I just added some lights today, so it'll come on the same time that my staircase comes on as well. So that'll be really nice and magical at night. But again, I love my office space. It's very cozy in here in the mornings when I come in. I turn on the fireplace and get it nice and warm, because it is fall here in Georgia, and it's starting to get really cold in the morning. We live in Northeast Georgia, so it gets right now it's about 48 degrees when we're waking up in the morning. So it's really super, super chilly. But I love this year's Christmas theme. My first year being able to have a full-fledged tree in my office, and having a fireplace that my husband built for me that I can have and enjoy for years to come, with garland here. And I didn't record me necessarily draping the garland because, again, I am not a garland girl in terms of I'm not the best at it, but I will try and get better over the years, I'm sure, and it'll just get more and more, I'll get more and more confident as I go. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and let me know what you guys think of my vintage office for this year, for 2025. Bye guys.